Ray, you're granted permission to go back in time. You have an opportunity to go back in time and spend 364 days with 3 historical figures. You will assign each of these figures, Ray, a task to complete in 1 year. One historical figure will be assigned the task of curing Alzheimer's. The second historical figure will be assigned the task of solving the mystery behind the JFK assassination. And finally, a third historical figure will be given immortality, as they're assigned the task of serving mankind as an eternal ambassador of sorts.
As far as the neurosurgeon, I would have to say Sir John Hardy. He was a professor, and he discovered, his discovery led to a drug that helped patients, and he also received a brain prize for neurology, and it lasted up to 30 years in the makings. A drug that was modest to his patients that really came close to solving
Alzheimer's, which people know very little about.
Well, so the next one, if you want to pick, is the ambassador. Who would you select as an ambassador?
Ronald Reagan. And I was in the military then, and the world was safe. He tore down the wall. He told the Russians to tear down the wall. They tore down the wall, which I have a piece. And he gave all the military raises, man. He was a military man, and in my time, to me, he would be the ambassador. I don't know, Jack Smith. I like Jack Smith because he's tough. He's taking a beating. He's still taking a beating, and he's still hanging in there. He's still hanging on his reports and everything. And our democracy is at war right now. If nobody knows, but he's about the only chance we really have.
Ray, first off, your opinion's valuable. Okay, you've been there, and you've helped a lot of the people. You've helped the youth. I think it's safe to say, and I'm not going to speak for you, I'll ask you the question, that it's more rewarding to help the youth the way that you do, more so than even any personal accolade.
Oh, really? Yeah, I get more out of that than winning anything or any kind of game or anything, man. That's real serious in life, man. That's gonna, I got kids out there, and everybody got kids, man. We want the world to be a better place for our kids. Amen.
But do you feel as if that might be the dividing line? The Kennedy assassination, is that when things really changed, Ray, for us?
I think so. I mean, I was young then, but I think things really changed then.
Would you guys concur? I mean, there's a lot of instances, but you think that's really a defining moment of when things changed?
Man, I mean, he's not that. He's not the first president to get assassinated. We got McKinley and Garfield, and anybody who really opposed the big powerful central bankers was very quickly eliminated.
Corin, you're granted permission to go back in time. You have the opportunity to go back in time and spend a year with 3 historical figures. You're given a book of the future. You can share this book with these historical figures, and it enables them to take a peek into the future, filled with scientific advancements. You can assign each of these figures a task to complete in 1 year. One will be assigned the task of curing Alzheimer's. The second will be assigned the task of solving the mystery behind the JFK assassination. And finally, the third will be given immortality, as they're assigned the task of serving mankind as an eternal ambassador of sorts. Who would you select and why? The floor is yours whenever you're ready to go. Good, sir.
I picked kind of an obscure fellow, Samuel Hahnemann, who was the kind of the what you'd call a modern founder of homeopathy. If I remember correctly, he coined the term. He was a German doctor, and he believed that any ailments that we have, since we're earthly, that also he also believed that there had to be a spiritual element to illness as well. Some of what I have found over the years leads back to thiamerosols and vaccines and stuff, which means a certain amount of metals in them, particularly mercury, which was used, and which is terrible, not only physically on the body, but it slowly over time accumulates in the brain and the neuron receptors and whatnot, and and that easily can lead to, you know, what was coined back in the day, Mad Hatter's disease. But, you know, it's hard to find studies that are done on Alzheimer's patients and what vaccines they got when they were young, or what vaccines they got over a period of time. But they do have aluminums in the vaccines, which has a similar effect as the mercuries and stuff. So I think that if there had been a far more homeopathic approach to, you know, to all of our sicknesses and illnesses and all of that. I mean, not even getting into some of the research that's been done on cancers and the possible origin of those. And if we had pursued that line of medicine over the pharmaceutical industry, which is a, you know, more of a chemical approach to cures and treatments, rather than a holistic one, we would most likely be a lot healthier today. It's a weird one because he obviously investigated the Kennedy assassination when it happened. Was the district attorney of New Orleans, Jim Garrison, and he was really the only person. He was like the canary in the coal mine. He was the only person that was
trying to point the fingers in the right direction, and
he's the one who established the connection between the intelligence agencies, the mob. So there was a beef between some of these individuals, like we talked about earlier, and the Kennedys, because the Kennedys weren't so interested in fighting communism in South America, and were more interested in having a relatively peaceful relationship with Russia, which was a huge no-no for the military-industrial complex. We needed a big enemy. Jim Garrison was the guy who first really planted the seeds that led to any of us even having an idea of what really went down. And you had his, once he uncovered those mafia connections, then you have to understand that Jack Ruby was mafia connected in Texas there with that whole Dixie Mafia. I just think that if he hadn't been sidelined, reason why I would go to him is that if he had the freedom to truly investigate the connections and the assassination without being stopped, that I think he would have unraveled the whole mystery, and the whole affair would have been figured out a long time ago.
Well, let me bring something from the past into the present, which is complimenting the three of you. I want to compliment you guys, so take your roses. Ray Mercer, Erin O'Brien, and Corin Nemec are with us here tonight. And guys, I want to thank you for trusting this space. It means a lot to me because it's virtual. You might think that's sappy. I'd rather be sappy than cynical. But hey, we're doing something here without breaking bread. We're doing something here that's virtual. It's defined as a very cold environment, and yet here we are, again, building these friendships through our opinions and respecting each other. And there's a simplicity to that that's so beautiful that you guys bring. So my flowers to you, to Ray Mercer, Erin O'Brien, and Corin Nemec. Appreciate you guys, because I'm a warm and fuzzy guy, and I feel that way when I'm backstage listening to the three of you. And I respect and appreciate and I value what you guys say. I would say that off camera. Corin, we're dear friends, you know that. I want to give it back to you guys because you guys are amazing. Let's shatter the cycles of the past. But to do that, we have to accept the problems of the present. We have problems here that go far back there. Do we need to solve that to solve this today in 2025? Whatever this is, whatever we're experiencing as a culture.
I mean, to me, I think that the truth will set you free. I mean, it might be a terrible truth that you have to know and find out and go through the pain and of accepting it and all of that.
How about you, Ray? Do you think if you had the ability to solve something like this in the past, but you would have to sacrifice your life in order to find the truth and discover the truth, would you still do it?
Yes, I think I would. Like I said, truth will set you free.
Guys, it's the third portion of the first topic for Corin Nemec, which right now is the ambassador topic.
Siddhartha Gautama would definitely be who I would bring back as that character we're talking about, or otherwise known as the Buddha, but which Buddha only just means an awakened one, the awakened one. And you need freedom to express yourself. and then that's what's called samsara, that wheel of living and dying. Suddenly you can become well balanced in the throes of the chaos of the world and all of the suffering. His philosophy, what they called civilizing, so-called civilized, a lot of the known world at that time, all the way from his teachings reached ancient Babylon. He was born also, 600 years before Jesus was born, and the Greeks also, with Alexander the Great, when they ended up stopping their invasion of India up in the Kashmir region, they ran into Buddhism there. And you can study Buddhism and be a Muslim. You can study Buddhism and be a Christian. You can study Buddhism and be a Jew. He would be a great ambassador if he could exist for a lot longer than he did, for humankind to kind of listen to and dig.
Okay, so my first one is Max Gerson. I don't know if I assume maybe Corin, you've heard of him. He's holistic, and his Gerson theory, which he created a long time ago, is supposedly cures cancer. They actually have a place in Mexico where people go down with cancer, and they can give them juices and coffee enemas. I'm not sure if I'm down with that, but it's just a natural, holistic way of curing cancer. I would bring back JFK to solve his own murder.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Because I think it was an inside job. And then he can look at it with a new perspective and be like, oh shit, this guy was trying to do it the whole time.
I like that.
That's
Kinda
damn
weird,
good.
but we show him all the videos. We show him the Oliver Stone movie. We go through all the data, all the YouTube videos, all the conspiracies. All right, I got another different one. So a friend of mine sent me a video the other day and was like, oh man, why isn't this guy alive anymore? And it was George Carlin.
Oh, yes.
And I know it's kind of a weird choice, but he's so
No,
smart.
that's
He's so
great.
intelligent. He's so funny. He doesn't
Great
sugarcoat.
choice.
He's got shit to say. So I was like, I'm gonna bring this guy back.
If a chronic liar tells you he's a chronic liar, do you believe him?
Yes.
Does anyone ever vanish without a trace or disappear in fat air instead of thin air?
I've been so skinny I could disappear in some fat air. I can tell you that. I'm
You
a
look
rather
great, man.
narrow person.
You look amazing, dude. What are you talking about? If quitters never win and winners never quit, who came up with quit while you're still ahead? Ray, the same question for you, my good friend. Again, what do you know well enough that you would never consider teaching to others, and why, my friend?
Boxing. I know it sounds crazy. A lot of my friends, man, have brain damage, can't talk, have problems getting around, need help doing a lot of things. And it's partially because we have no pension, we have no medicals, we have nothing to help us when our brains get messed up or anything. They don't have anything for these fighters. My friends, some of them, I can't even understand them. You got to text them. Some of them can't talk. I mean, if you've seen it, it's real bad. Until they get us like medicals or pensions or anything like that, man, I don't think I'd want my kids to box.
Probably graffiti art. It's you're realistically, it's illegal. I wouldn't really want to promote it because it's putting your life and future at risk if you're going to go hard as a graffiti artist and get known. And not only that, it's private property or state property or whatever else that you're causing damage to if you don't have permission to paint on it. Perhaps finding a different outlet for your artistic endeavors than going down the road of the graffiti artist.
But it's kind of a double-edged sword, but I'm going to say dog rescue. My husband and I are really into rescuing animals. And we're here at the shelter, and it's such a wonderful, fulfilling thing, but it's also so sad. Like, we lost 5 animals this year. we adopted a lot of like the older dogs, the seniors, but we adopted a puppy that we had for 3 weeks and it died of parvo. We love animals and we will continue to rescue them, but it's just one of those things that it's really hard because when they pass their family, so we lost our bulldog this year. It's tough, and then when we go to the shelter, you fall in love with the dogs, and sometimes they can't assimilate to life, to living, getting along with people and other dogs, and they have to put them down, and it's a lot.
We're gonna peel back layers and down the rabbit hole. You had a good time, my friend?
I had a great time, brother, as always. Wonderful. Erin and Ray were fantastic, and I really loved chopping it up and with you, and always thought-provoking these little twists you give us to you. You
have a great night, my friend. Man. I appreciate you. And hey, I want you to know something in case tomorrow never comes, brother. I really appreciate you. It's quality, not quantity. You're a quality friend, and I thank you for being you, bro.
You as well, my friend.